Okay, now let's have a look at develop a speech-capable generative AI application. Now let's understand first of all that when you're dealing with Microsoft Foundry model catalog, we know we have 11,000 plus models available inside this, but there are some of the models which are speech-capable models. And when you are trying to find this thing, you're basically focusing on two things. Focus on the two words. First, you can search and filter for this particular models, which are generative AI models that can transcribe speech to text. And you have to search for the word which is transcribe. When you do this thing, you will get models like this, GPT-4o mini transcribe, or maybe GPT-4o transcribe diatribes. Now, all these things, the diaries and transcribe and all these things are basically those models which are allowing you to convert speech into text. And if you want to do the reverse of this thing, basically you are looking for a generative AI models that can synthesize your text to speech, then you can go for TTS model. You can see TTS HD, GPT-4o mini TTS. These are basically TTS stand for text to speech kind of models. So make sure you are using this kind of a models. And actually in this modules lab, we are going to use this models in that practically. Now, how does actually this works? When you go for transcribe or TTS kind of models, it's basically going to be meant for a specific purpose. You're going to use your speech capable generative AI models in your own client application, or maybe when you develop this thing or use this thing with a playground. When you do this thing, your transcription models are going to have a prompt which include binary audio data. So in this case, you're going to provide an audio as an input. And what it's going to do is going to response contains the transcribed speech, which is going to be in the text format. While the reverse of that is going to happen in the TTS. You're going to use speech synthesis models to prompt, which is going to include the text. And based on the text, it's going to respond, contains the audio data associated with this. So that is what speech to text and text to speech is going to happen. Remember one thing, when you are focusing on speech to text, that is basically what we call transcription or transcribe kind of a thing, or the other name of the thing is speech recognition. And then if you try to do the other thing, which is basically known as text to speech, then there is something which is known as speech synthesis. And that's why these are synthesis models. Now, obviously, this is the time you have to try this thing in the lab exercise. So I want you to go through the lab exercise and then try to use these two models and see if it is working or not. But before we do this thing, let's just check the knowledge check of this particular module. So let me go through the first question. Which model can you use to generate text from speech? Obviously, the right answer is transcribe model. So GPT-4o mini transcribe is the right option in this. Which model can you use to synthesize speech from text? The right answer is TTS because that's text to speech kind of model. Simple, easy questions. Go for the lab and then I'll see you in the next module. Okay, now let's move forward to next lab exercise in which we are going to focus on speech capable generative AI models. Up to this point, in most of the lab exercises, we have used GPT 4.1 as a language model. But now we are going to use different models which are basically helping you to deal with speech service associated with this. Now remember one thing, we have understood this thing in the previous module that there are two important words. First word is text to speech, which is basically known as speech synthesis. And the second word is basically speech to text, which is known as speech recognition. Remember, when you're dealing with this, you have to find out a specific type of model. There are some models which are helping you in speech recognition, which are basically known as transcribed type of models. And then other type of models are basically known as TTS, which is basically known as text to speech. Now we are going to see this kind of language models in this particular lab. So let's see how we can use them. As you can see right now, I have logged into my lab environment and this is my project which is created. It's a newly created project. I do not have any kind of a models or agents deployed into this right now. I'm on my Foundry portal and the first thing which I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy a speech generation model. Where can I find this? Well, let me click on find models, and under this find model section, actually the first thing you have to see is you have a section which is basically allowing you to search this. Now first I'm going to search something which is GPT-4o mini TTS. Now you can see right now this is GPT-4o model, but with this we have one word which is called TTS, which is basically for text to speech kind of a model. Same way, exactly right side of this, you have transcribe also, which is speech to text kind of a model. Now these language models are basically having specific capabilities, and that's the reason we have this kind of words associated with this. I'm going to choose GPT-4o mini TTS right now. I'm going to deploy this with my kind of a custom settings right now. Global standard deployment is perfectly fine. TPM, I'm not going to set very high. I'm going to set it to approximately 10,000, which is more than enough for me right now. And then I'm going to click on, the moment this is deployed, I want you to see here that there is one thing which is called target URI and key. These two values are very important for us. If I want to associate with this model, these two values will be required. So I'm just going to copy both of this and I'm going to put it in my notepad file. This is my key and there is a target URI as well, which is this. In order to deal with this specific models, you need to use this URI as well as the key, which is there. So I'm just taking care of this. Now let me try to deploy one more model, which is my speech recognition model. In that case, I will go back to deployments. I'll click on deploy a base model. This time I'm going to search for GPT-4o mini transcribe. It's here. I'm going to select this. I'm going to click on deploy with the custom settings. And again, we are going to choose global standard deployment with 10,000 TPM. Remember, as of now, we are just doing one thing. We are just trying to deploy our two important models which we need for this particular lab exercise. Now, let's make sure that we are going to have a proper application from GitHub in which we can use this. Now, for this also, let me just copy this. For both of this, actually, target URI will be same. You can see right now, but key will be different. So I'm going to copy the key and I'm going to paste it here. And you can see the key is also exactly same. So this is how you can use it. Cool. Now, I'm going back to my Visual Studio Code now, and this is the time we are going to clone our repository. So let me just go to my Visual Studio Code. I'll try to do git clone. So I'm just going to do clone repository. It will maybe ask me to sign in. So I'm just pasting my URL of my git repository. You can see it's asking me for sign in. I'll sign in with my student credentials. Okay, once this is done, let's try to close the repository once again. This is a repository which is again MS Learn AI language, the same repository which we have used for this module. I'll select the repository destination, and once it is cloned, we'll open it. This time we have to go inside the lab files and then we have to associate with a specific application, which is GenAI Speech, and inside that we have Generate Speech and Transcribe Speech. These are the two different folders which we have. Now obviously right now first we will go with Generate Speech. So we'll go with this one. And then inside this we have env file, requirements.txt and generate speech.py. So these are the three important configuration files, as we all know. First thing what I'm going to do is I will just go and deal with my environment file. So I'll go to environment file, which is looking for model endpoint and my model name. Now you can see right now my model name was GPT-4o mini TTS only. All I need to do is I have to take my model endpoint, which is this. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. I'll save this. We'll go to requirements.txt. This is taking certain libraries which are dependencies of this project. Remember, we have new library this time, which is PlaySound3, which is basically helping us in generating speech. I'm going to right click on my requirements.txt file, open an integrated terminal. I'm going to fire the same three commands, which is python -m venv labenv. Labenv is getting created. Now I'm going to do /labenv, then inside the scripts and inside that activate. And once that is done, we'll just do pip install requirements.txt. This will take care of the dependencies, so that's going on. That's perfectly fine. Meanwhile, we'll just go to generate speech.py and we'll try to implement our code here. Remember, this time the goal is we want to do speech generation. We have to make sure that we provide proper input associations with that. Let me go to my import namespace section. I'll take a help of my notepad file, and somewhere here I'm going to add my code. So the first thing is we're going to import some namespaces, which obviously include Azure OpenAI, because we are dealing with the OpenAI models, and default Azure credentials with the getBetter token provider, which will help me to authenticate my request. Nothing new here. This is exactly same which we have used in the other labs as well. So this is how it is. Then we are trying to grab the values of my environment variables from the env file, model endpoint and model name. Both will be grabbed from this. We also have one particular file which is speech.mp3. Now, if you see here, inside this particular one, we do not have any particular speech.mp3 file. So you can see in this folder, we do not have that actually. This is just a parent path which we are setting up here, and we will be using this thing somewhere in the code. After this, let me go to the next piece of code, which is creating the Azure OpenAI client. Now, this code is also very similar and simple, which we have seen earlier. We are going to use default Azure credential, and using that, whatever authentication is done will associate an Azure OpenAI instance with that credential, and then it's going to generate a token for us so that we can be authenticated. Once this is done, this code is also going to be added here. Take care of indentation, and then let's write actual logic, which is generate speech, and then save it to the file. This is a simple but meaningful code. In this, we are just dealing with the client instance, and using that, we are doing client.audio.speech with streaming response.create. This is a new function which you need to remember. And when you're dealing with the speech with streaming response.create, this is basically going to take your model deployment name, which voice you want to associate with this, and then what kind of instructions you want to give it in this. We are saying the speak in a serious tone, and that's what it's going to do actually. So this is fine. I'll take this code, Control X, and I'll paste it here. This is done. And you can see after this, we are just doing one thing. We are just using play sound function in which we are passing the speech file path. Basically, whatever file path which is stored with that, we are just going to play sound with that. That's it. This code is very straightforward and simple. I'm going to save this and I'm going to run this now. So all I'm going to do is AZ login. I have to authenticate my request. It will detect my user. Yes, I'll click on continue. Let's wait for this to detect my subscription. It's detected. I'll hit enter. And once this is detected, let's try to run this. So we'll just put Python generate speech.py. When we do this, this is basically asking us that the application is executing. Now, my voice is my passport. This is something which is a input text which we have provided here. Let's see if it's going to take this and it's going to execute that or not. You can see I got speech.mp3 file here. Okay, and in my lab computer, maybe the mic is actually not on right now, so this is something which is disabled. But in your case, when you're going to run this thing, you will be able to see that it is going to speak the same thing. It's going to speak that my voice is my passport. So this is a lab environment, so I do not have this configuration to turn this on, but it will be working like this. And this is a simplistic code, which I hope you understand. Now, let's move forward to the next one, which is create a speech transcription app in which we will provide a script and it's going to give us a transcript with that. So in this case, we can do the reverse kind of a thing, basically. What am I going to do in this now is I will just configure my other three files in the separate folder, which is this one, transcribe speech. Okay. So in this terminal only, while this is going on, I'll just do Control C, terminating this, and then I will go cd dot dot, and then I will do cd, and I'll go to next folder, which is basically my transcribe. Once I'm inside this, I have to do the same kind of configuration. So I will do Python lab env venv, the same kind of a virtual lab environment we will create. Then I will activate this, and then I will take care of the dependencies. Now in this project also we have requirements.txt, which is basically having similar kind of packages. In the env file, we have to provide endpoint. So this is going to be the same endpoint. I'll take the endpoint and I'll paste it here. Save it. Model name is correct. Let's go to transcribe speech.py. And now in this, we have to put a code. Now remember, this code is also 90% same like the previous one. The only thing is going to change is some part of that configuration, which is generating speech to text now, not text to speech. So that is something which is going to get changed. Let me take care of the code now. First one is import namespaces, exactly same, no need to explain. Second thing is creating the Azure OpenAI client, that's also exactly same. By the way, in this case, we are just trying to get the file which is speech.wave. This is a wave file which we have stored in the specific folder. So this is basically similar kind of a file, but this is not in the MP3 format, it's in a wave file. So this is a wave file which is available here. And now, if this is there, we'll do the last thing, which is call the model to transcribe the audio file. For that, we have to use this code. The difference this time is we are going to provide input file, which is basically that wave file which is there. We'll take this thing, and the function is client.audio.transcriptions.create. This is going to create an instance of this particular model With that, it's going to pass on the model deployment audio file, and the format of that is going to be text. So whatever is there in the audio is going to be written in this text format. We'll do Control X and Control V. Take care of indentation as usual. Save the file. No need to do AZ login, so directly just run this, and we'll do it like Python transcribe speech dot. If I run this, let's wait for this. This print transcription is basically going to show me that what exactly is there in the speech.wave. Let me just wait for this to be working. Yeah, I interrupted this because it was taking longer than usual kind of a time. Let me try once again. Now this is because of my lab environment, because the lab environment is maybe not having a specific drivers to read with that. Or this is running. Let me try to read this. Okay, it has something wrong with this particular file only. No problem. But whatever is written in this is going to be executing that. That's how it's going to be showing you in the output. For me, this is something wrong with my lab environment configuration, so I do not want to worry about this. I hope you understood this particular lab, and important thing is basically this code. This code, which is having the function, which is transcription.create, and the other one, which is basically having a function, which is speech with streaming response.create, are the two important functions. Remember, when you're going for AI-103 certification exam, there are chances they are going to ask you questions about this kind of functions, that which function is going to be useful for this kind of speech to text and text to speech. Also, they can ask you that which model deployment will be the right choice for this kind of function. So just make sure you take care of this and you focus on this particular code file. That's it from my side for this particular lab. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.